Hey everybody, it's the Big K Experience and the Spilt Milk Show with the B. Today we're going to be talking about survival capsules. I could barely get that out. You want one for Christmas? Why not? Want to lower your IQ? Keep checking your email. What women love and hate about a guy behind the wheel. And some dude's flatulence literally saved a town. All coming out. All right, so as you know, I start off every show with a little bit about myself. And I've been going to church, I've been meeting some godly people, and one of the guys said, hey, you want to meet a nice girl? You pray for it. You pray for it. So I did. I prayed for it. And what happens? The very next day, this beautiful girl shows up to my work that I know, and she wants to come talk to me, hang out with me, see my studio, all that kind of good stuff. I'm thinking, way to go, Lord. That is nice. So, haven't seen her since. I don't know if I left a bad impression, but I haven't seen her since. So, oh, you trickster, you trickster. God's like, you think I'm gonna give you something that quickly? You need to work for it. You need to become a better person, maybe. I don't know what the case may be, but either way, he got me, man. It was a good one, because I was really excited. I was like, look at God go, making changes in my life. Which he will, obviously, but that was not the change that was going to be made. I've been going to church at Hope City Church in Kingman, which is, in my head, Rack City, Rack City. Have you ever heard that song? Rack City. It's the B word, you know? Well, I sing that in my head, but I replaced it with Hope City. So I'm like, Hope City, Hope City. But it keeps me enthused, and I keep going to church. So that kind of makes me a winner, right? I've been having a good time going there, good people there, good pastors there, just all around friendly place. And I just needed something to do on a Sunday, and that sounds like the right thing to do. Get good with the man upstairs, you know what I'm saying? And I like the feeling of the place. I have an idea that the Holy Spirit is God's voice, right? And that's, a lot of people are interpreting God's voice at church, so they get that overwhelmingly good feeling. And when you start to get the Holy Spirit, it's broadcast through you, obviously, from one person to another. So if a bunch of people are obtaining the Holy Spirit in church, then obviously I get that feeling as well, and that's the feeling that I like. I like the idea of people wanting to grow and become better. So I go to church for that reason. The sermons themselves, I've never lived in a hut or carried a sword around or had any of the, life-changing experiences that they had in the Bible, so I can't really relate. But I can relate to the feeling I get when I go there. So if you don't go to church, you should try it. Any kind of church. I don't care if it's Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever you want to do. Whatever will help you grow and become a better person, that is what you should try to do, because that's what we all want out of life, is to become a better person. I also would like a girlfriend, Lord. Stop fooling with me, man. Stop it. So you ever get nonstop emails that make you want to break your computer? Well, they're not only frustrating and irritating, but they're also lowering your IQ points by 20 points. And this is a British study from David Posen, MD, author of Is Work Killing You? And work is obviously killing us all. We all have to go there all day. We stress out about it. We normally have to eat junk food or prepared lunches or whatever we can get for that 30-minute break or an hour break. It isn't long enough to go anywhere and sit down and eat somewhere. So you got to eat at work most of the time. And for a lot of us, we don't get lunches. We eat at work, literally at our desk, while we're doing whatever we're doing. But if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not killing you as badly. However, checking your email is. So turn off the dings and check in 4 to 5 specific times daily, said David Posen, MD, author of Is Work Killing You? Each time, knock your unread emails down to 0, either answering them or filing them for later, and then go back to work. So if you don't have time to read your emails, don't leave them up there so that they're just like that big old numbers. Boop, boop, you got 20 unread emails. Boop, 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 you got 30 unread emails. Just start filing them away, man. If you don't want to read them, don't read them, file them. But if you do, obviously, if some of them are more important than others, read away, enjoy yourself. This sweater makes me look huge, doesn't it? Look at that, look like I got wings. It's crazy. Anyways, don't let emails lower your IQ points. Take care of them. Clean them out. Do your thing. Live better at work, less stress. All from this David Posen guy that obviously is a guru on it. I don't know, or at least he's kind of smart, so I've listened to him. So, how about a survival capsule for Christmas? Why not, right? If you can afford it, you should get one. But if you don't live on the coast, you really don't need one. But if you do live on the coast, there are preparedness experts, and they suggest infrastructure like evacuation centers and seawalls for protection. But proactive people, they don't want to wait for the government to build big seawalls. We're too busy building a wall between Mexico and us. So you get a survival capsule. And let me tell you what a survival capsule is. All right, it's 4.5 food spherical escape pod. I don't know what that means, but that's what it says. The orb is built to bob. Its aviation-grade aluminum shell should hold its shape, even when massive waves and debris pummel houses and cars. Your little survival capsule, mobbing through, dude. No worries. And they can fit up to 16 people, which means you and the neighbors all could like get in on one survival capsule, and everyone runs up to it. Here's the thing, it's just like a submarine too. It like slams shut and then has the steering wheel door that you can just spin, and the arms lock you in, airtight. You are sitting, waiting to be saved. All right, there's I forget, it's like a water tanks inside in order to have water, obviously, and to keep all the weight at the bottom of the capsule so that it bobs, and that you'll survive the floods or the tsunamis or whatever it is that's coming at you. Whether or not I would trust this thing wholeheartedly, I don't know. But I mean, if you're gonna live in a place with a tsunami and you can't really trust just jumping in your car and hoping for the best, you might as well get a survival capsule. So I talked about it earlier, what women love and hate about a man behind the wheel. All right, so we'll start out with what they love. The way men know what to do if the car has a flat tire or breaks down. I did have a friend though who was pregnant, and she had her boyfriend there and her boyfriend's best buddy. And the boyfriend started changing the tire. The best buddy said, hey, you don't know how to jack that up, yada, yada, yada. I kept going back and forth. All of a sudden, now it's the pregnant woman changing the tire while they're sitting around arguing whether or not the tire should be changed a certain way. And she just gets it done and they take off. Her name's Jasmine. She's really rad, but she also is a control freak. So I can imagine she probably had that, just shoved him out of the way so she could get it done so she can move on with her life. But having two dudes there, I can't see the position I would be in where I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool, the pregnant girl can change the tire. I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. That kind of cues you into not boyfriend material, but hey, who am I to judge? All right, how they park in tight spaces. That's always nice. Their skill at maneuvering and reversing. Their sense of direction. It sounds like a dirty joke, doesn't it? It sounds like it's gonna probably break into a dirty joke. And then they're driving on highways and at rotaries, Driving on highways and rotaries, I don't know what a rotary is, but it sounds delightful. And I don't know if I'd maneuver properly. So, I don't know, I might be screwed on that deal. Things women hate when their man is behind the wheel. And this is the best part because they love it when we know where we're going, but they hate it when we don't ask where we're going. That's kind of weird. All right, so tailgating, driving too close. If you don't know what that is, that's someone's bumper. Driving too fast. They don't like you driving too fast, but they do like the way you can maneuver and the way you reverse. But don't be maneuvering through traffic on the freeways because you're going too fast. Slow it down and do slow maneuvers. That's the way they like it. Using a mobile phone while driving, unless it's them texting you, then you better answer it because obviously you're out there fooling around if you're not. And if they're in the car with you, you have no reason to use a phone because they're not the ones texting you. And if they're not the ones texting you, then you have no reason to answer any texts or phone calls. So lock it up. That's the main point of that deal. Showing road rage. Nobody wants to hear somebody yell. Of course, I've heard more women road rage than men, but that's obviously just happenstance, I guess, because men have road rage. Refusing to ask for directions. Again, that's what I brought up earlier. They hate it when you don't ask for directions, right? When you don't know where you're going, but they love that you have a sense of direction. So, if you have a sense of direction, fellas, and you think you know where you're going, just make sure you keep faking it until you get there. Because if you don't ask for directions because you assume you know where you're going and you don't, you're in problems, man. But when you can just find your way somewhere, man, are you a smooth operator, my friend? They are just in love with you. And constantly changing radio stations. Hey, that song sucked, and I didn't want to hear that commercial again. I get it, fellas, I get it. You always put on my show. Kampala, Uganda. Yeah, I just like saying that. Kampala, Uganda. Is home to 48-year-old Joe Ramamirama, a man with a very unusual talent. He is known around his town as the man to see if you're sick of mosquitoes, because reportedly his farts are so bad they keep the pesky bugs far away. However, Joe is quick, man, to let you know that it is not toxic to humans, only mosquitoes. All right? It is so vile that mosquitoes won't even be around it, but the noxious gas is not harmful to adults or people in general. Actually, not just adults, but people in general. Only the insects, they're the ones that smell it. But check this out. Not only does it work at his house, not only does it work at his neighbors' houses, but since he's been there farting away, he has a mosquito safe zone of 6 miles. That's a larger radius than the Hiroshima bomb that hit Japan. Larger radius, right? 6 miles around, his farts are just floating away, infesting all the little mosquito huts, and they're all bouncing because they don't want to be around Funky Joe. However, he says he eats ordinary food just like everyone else, but no insect can lay a foot on me. Not even a fly. I smell like a normal man and I bathe daily, and my farts are just like everyone else. They're only dangerous to small insects and especially mosquitoes. Now, Joe dreams of his marketing gas expectations, so he has a Raid bottle with his face on it. And Joe's noxious gas taking mosquitoes out. Thanks for being part of my experience today, guys. It's a big experience in the Spilt Milk Show with the Bee.